you're going to struggle getting any leads. Like, I've seen people put thousands to ad spend and only get a couple leads out because they didn't really have a clue how to target people. This will make or break your ads. This is such an important video. I recommend watching this like 50 times at a minimum. Your scripts are terrible. You're a realtor, you're doing YouTube paid ads, your script sucks. If your scripts don't suck, your offer sucks. If your offer sucks, I don't know what to do with you. But in today's video, I'm basically going to go through and explain the 7 scripts of conduct. That's the main thing I've coined together. It's very, very detailed marketable, so you might be here a while, but there's a reason why I'm going through this, because this will make or break your ads. This is such an important video. I recommend watching this like 50 times at a minimum. But if you want to get a rough idea of who this British guy is talking and why I should care, I'm Dylan Kirk. I'm the CEO and founder of Estato. And we basically prioritize quality appointments for realtors in the US over quantity, because we realize, same thing with Facebook, same thing with Instagram and that sort of stuff, 100 leads but 0 conversions is still 0 conversions, because 100 multiplied by 0 is still 0. So it doesn't matter if you get 100 leads if none of them close. It doesn't matter. So just keeping that in mind there. So 7 scripts of conduct is very, very detailed, because this is every part of a script we're talking about. If you want to make the best offer, the best script, and figure out why it's so good, or figure out how to make an offer that's so good yourself, this is the video to do it. So, starting off with fear and urgency. So, this is something doing it in the order of scripts, right? So, you start off with fear and urgency, identify a hidden enemy, call out common mistakes, introduce a simple secret solution, relieve pain points, remove commitment and give back control, and then end with a clear, low friction CTA that really doesn't cause them much headache. That's the main thing. So, with fear and urgency, it should be at the start of your script, and it should establish a real emotional cost of inaction. This is where your knowledge of the industry, your knowledge of the market really can come into play. If you've been around the block for a while, you're gonna know exactly what is causing people to have this fear, have the urgency to move forward, right? You want to push the prospect out of the comfort by exposing the risk. So here are 3 great examples. You're one decision away from spending the next 10 years stuck in a house that drains your finances and mental energy. Right now, homes are either going up in price or getting snatched before they even hit the market. If you're not first, you're last. Most buyers are losing money because they're making decisions based on emotion, not strategy. Here's how to fix that. So, really great examples there, and these are why it works. So, fear and urgency acts as an interrupter. That's what it is. It immediately stops them going through to whatever they're doing on YouTube. I don't know what people watch nowadays, but going through and actually making sure that you are causing a break in their mental focus, and it's an interrupter. So what people do, and this is where like emotional selling is so powerful for a lot of people, why people choose to use it, is because most people delay decisions until there's actual emotional pressure. If there's no pressure to move forward, take a car for example, right? With a car, if it's the fact that you need a car to work and you're going to lose your job unless you actually get a car, you're going to be out night and day looking for a car. It doesn't matter if it costs you $50 from the scrapyard, or if it's a Lamborghini. It really doesn't matter as long as it gets you from A to B. It's a vehicle. Quite literally in the sense, it's a vehicle. So, starting with fear forces the prospect to realize they can't afford to wait. This is something that you need to capitalize on. If there's no fear, there's no urgency. If there's no urgency, there's no sale. And the reason why urgency and fear works so well is on neuroscience. It's not bullshit, it's neuroscience, right? And it's something called the amygdala. I've spoken about this on Instagram a little bit, but the amygdala is the part of the brain that is responsible for emotions. So like fear, danger, urgency, that sort of stuff really goes into effect there. So especially fear and threat, right? When people encounter messages that suggest either danger, loss, or scarcity, this is where that part of the brain lights up. The amygdala lights up. It pulls attention away, and this is the interesting part. Your brain only has so many resources, so it pulls apart the logic side and puts it into the amygdala. So anything that's logical, so when you're talking finances, how it all works and stuff like that, that gets pulled away. You think about that less, and you get into more of an action-orientated, like decision-making process. It's a fight or flight response, if you want to put it in essence. So I think like a very common tactic is FOMO. So in marketing, you might miss out on this. Like a really great example is something that I've seen in markets as well, where it's, oh, there's only 10 slots available for my market secret. Click below or you're going to miss out forever. Like that's a really, really powerful one, especially combined with fear and urgency. works really well. So it creates urgency. Like this whole section is dedicated to urgency. Ergo, activating the amygdala. So yeah, fear and urgency. We put it first. It's the most important, so keep that in mind there. Next up is identifying a hidden enemy. Now this is where I'm probably going to trigger a lot of people, but we'll get into that. So the hidden enemy part is dedicating to calling out a subtle overlooked problem, or like the system the prospect wasn't fully aware of, right? You know, it's something that they feel like they've either been taken advantage of or it's unfair, it's not up to them, that sort of thing. But you're basically creating a villain. So, great examples here. The real estate algorithm isn't designed to find the right home for you. It's designed to keep you scrolling endlessly. So, blaming an algorithm, right? The agent who just wants to help is often more loyal to closing the deal than protecting your future. Again, putting pressure on, like, can I really trust this realtor? People who are getting burned by them in the past. Zillow doesn't show you the houses you need, just the ones that generate the most clicks. These could all be very valid statements, right? These are all very valid, and these can all be highlighted as villains. So either Zillow, like some sort of website, right? Realtors, or an algorithm for some sort of house browsing website, you know? So people need something to externalize to blame, right? It gives them permission to take action without having shame or guilt. What you'll find as well, and it's the same thing in sales as well, it's a big thing. If you're forcing the person to take responsibility, if you're directly attacking this person, the sale isn't going to happen. It's not how it works. The harder you push, it doesn't mean it squeezes, right? That's not how it works. Because they're either going to freeze up, not take any accountability, and realize, oh, it's hopeless. Because if you crush their dreams like that, if you crush their spirits, they're going to think it's hopeless. They're going to think they're unhelped, like they can't be helped. Right? That's the main thing they're looking for. So when you have a villain, it means they're on the right side and you can conquer this, right? So people don't like to take accountability, which is why they get stuck. If everyone in the world took accountability, the amount of people who would actually get stuff done in their life would skyrocket. That's the main thing to think about. Accountability is so key, just in your own personal lives. You know, think about the person who never goes to the gym. They aren't taking accountable of their health, so therefore they never go to the gym. People who never start that business, they're not accountable of their financial situation. They don't think they're responsible for it, so they never bother. Most of the time, this isn't a conscious decision. It really isn't. It is subconscious, but even that statement alone, this could be me just trying to avoid taking accountability and avoid trying to deliver that message, because I know if I speak in generalisms and I say people don't like to take responsibility and they're fully aware of it, that's going to cause backlash. So that could be even subconsciously me doing that. So by exposing something you didn't know, you gain authority and build trust through insight. Again, one of the biggest ways to actually sell is through trust. Trust, likability, the best ways to actually close deals. So people buy from people they like and trust. Establishing trust is the easy part because you want to do it through gaining authority or at least directly showing your knowledge over the industry. It doesn't matter how many years. You could have 40 years in being a real estate agent and you could be awful, right? You could have no idea what you're talking about. So years of experience does not equal trust. A lot of people miss that. A lot of realtors miss that. They translate, oh, I've got 15 years of real estate agent. I've closed $1 million homes. Well, that's great and all, but what are you doing now, right? It's a harsh truth. So just keeping that in mind there, that's the hidden enemy. But yeah, number 3 is all about calling out common mistakes. So really great example here. Most buyers waste months visiting homes without ever understanding what they actually qualify for or should even be considering. The reason why there's only one example as well is that there's not really many ways to call out the common mistakes because, I mean, there's quite a bit, but they all boil down to a select group, right? So be buyers or sellers. Figure out what works in your market. It's very market specific. Again, that's why I didn't want to give too many examples here, just to actually make it relate to your specific situation, your market. So it's just 2 or 3 mistakes that the prospect is likely making, right? So just make them feel seen, and they feel heard, and subtly judge them without shaming. So don't put too much pressure on it, but just make them aware of the mistakes. It's much better, again, sales tactic here, it's much better for the prospect to make them aware of their mistakes rather than saying, oh, didn't you make this mistake? Because then that makes them feel judged. You don't want to make them feel judged, you just want to make them aware of it, not calling them out. So when you articulate the mistakes better than they can, they assume you have a solution. It's like, oh, this person's been there before. This person has clearly helped people in my situation. He knows what he's talking about. building the trust to make sure you are the authority figure, because again, trust sells. Combined with YouTube ads, this does two things. So you want to build a rapport. YouTube ads do a great job anyway of building rapport, but if you're able to also solidify yourself as an authority figure on a YouTube ad, that is so much trust. That's an incredible amount of trust, and it places you as the expert in the field. So you're not just a bumbling idiot on a YouTube ad. You know exactly what they've been through. You know what the buyer or the seller has been through, and you're there to help. So it makes the prospect also pause and question their current approach, because they realize that they're making the same mistake that you have listed out on a YouTube ad. That is very powerful. They relate to that and realize, oh, I don't want to make the same pitfall that the whole bunch of other people have done. How do I get around this, right? Which increases that openness to actually finding new options. So if they can relate to your messaging, they feel that they're in the right place, they feel heard. And that's a big thing as well. Security for human beings is a big thing. Again, psychological, but they want security. And this is just a way of solidifying and reinforcing that they are in the right place. They are in a safe place, right? Because you can relate to their mistakes. They can relate to you saying it on the message, and therefore we're going to go forward. So once they feel that they were meant to see the ad, it clicks. It sounds silly, it sounds corny, but in their brain it is like, oh, I was showing this ad for a reason. Like, this is great. Like, no pun intended, they will now want to step outside their comfort zone. Like, it, no pun intended, it clicks in their mind. That's the main thing. So number 4 is introducing a simple, better secret solution. So you've got that common mistake, you've identified a hidden enemy, and you've had the fear and urgency. They're ready to move forward. Like, in their mind, they're psychologically prepped for a solution. So that's where I'd argue the first 3 are the most important. You could have the best offer in the world, best product in the world, but if you aren't giving that fear and urgency, if you aren't making them want to click on it, then it doesn't matter how good it is. This is why value stacking alone can't do anything for you. You can value stack all you want. Again, use the analogy of a car and a Lambo. The person who's desperate looking for a car, it doesn't matter if you value stack them a Lamborghini. It really doesn't matter. They just want to get from A to B. And they think your vehicle can do that. Again, doesn't matter. Price range, quality of the product. Quality of product does help, but not as much as you think. Quality of product and just making it really easy to do, low commitment as well, big thing. Then it's gonna be a no-brainer opportunity. In fact, a lot of it is subconscious, but that's a separate thing. So, simple secret solution. You want to pivot away from talking about their circumstance, giving like general examples of common mistakes, pitfalls, that sort of thing. You want to pivot that there is a better way. There is a solution for all these problems you're facing, all these pain points, but it's not widely known or used. Like, frame it as an insider method. The reason why I say frame it as an insider method is because people would like to feel included, like in a little club. That's the main thing. If it feels like everyone has access to it, it's the same thing why a diamond is, so sought after, or like a Gucci watch, maybe even a MacBook. You can even see that as being sought after because, one, it's really expensive, at least a lot of the newer gen models are really expensive. So that means not a lot of people have access to it. So when you do see one or you do get to use one, it feels better by default because it's exclusive. It's exclusive to you. Not a lot of people have access to it. Same thing like a diamond. Diamonds aren't worth like $10, right? When I get married down the line, I'm not gonna think, oh, that's a cheap diamond. So just have that in mind because, like, again, diamond's a great example. It's not something a lot of people have, which is why people get so happy, so surprised when they see one. So, 3 examples here. We've got a local filtering system that lets us identify underpriced homes before they even hit Zillow. Great one there. Our clients use a 3-tier clarity plan to know what to buy, when, and exactly what to offer, without guessing. We bypass public listings by working directly with motivated sellers through a pre-market matching process. When you label it as like a pre-market matching process or a 3-tier clarity plan, it sounds formal, it sounds professional. This isn't like Dylan's secret methods or something like that, right? It's more the fact that it sounds like it's been tried and proven. This isn't something you found off the street. A lot of people as well, why in sales they use 3 pillars, 3 columns, or they have like a 3 something system or a 5 something system. Something method, right? Something premium. It makes it sound tried and tested without actually being tried and tested. So a secret or a system implies there's an easier path, activating curiosity, lowering resistance, and maybe increasing skepticism, but that also plays into curiosity. So this is why I'm not really bothered by people who are skeptical, because your product will speak for itself. Because the skeptics are curious enough to check it out. That's the main thing. People love to take shortcuts. Speaking of generalisms here, but people really do love to take shortcuts. If they can see an easier path to the same solution, the easier path to the same goal, then they are going to take that solution. That's the main thing. So makes them feel like they're part of a little club. Again, exclusive, they feel like they belong, they feel like they're in the right place. This is all reinforcing that. You're not offering generic advice either. You have a proprietary process which justifies your value. What actually is a proprietary process? It's a process that means that it's exclusive, it's branded by you, and it's repeatable. This is why a proprietary process, at least in all markets that I've seen, works extremely, extremely well. So here's an example here. Here's how we sell your home using our free tier matchmaker method. It implies it's tested and proven. This isn't something that's just been thought up by you. So there you go. Number 5, relieving pain points. So you want to emphasize and provide immediate relief. Make the process feel lighter, safer, and faster. So great examples here of relieving pain points. This is your medicine, right? This is where your product starts to come into play. So no more weekend open house marathons or flaky agents, just targeted showings based on your real numbers. So, you say goodbye to all the pains and the struggles you're currently going through, because this solves that. We handle all the research, rescheduling, and paperwork. All that paperwork is now gone. All you have to do is just decide if the house feels right. Just point your finger at a house you want on that street, and that's yours, right? Forget bidding wars. Put that headache behind you. We show you homes where you actually negotiate down, right? Very, very good for buyers as well, by the way. So by emphasizing with their frustrations and removing that pressure, you not only become a safe choice, you also stop coming across as pushy like everyone else. A lot of agents like to go, click me, I've got 15, 20 years experience, but years of experience mean absolutely nothing. You're not being pushy. You're saying, I've got the solution for here. If you want it, it's that. Again, this builds that trust. You're novel. You're not like everyone else. So again, trust equals selling. Trust equals deals. If there's one thing you take away from this video, is that trust and likability is what pushes that sales forward. A lot of people in real estate completely forget this. They just think they need to act like, Jordan Belford's method of selling, but it doesn't work anymore. The last thing you want to do on an ad is push for money. A lot of realtors make this mistake where they sell themselves. Do not sell yourself. Again, another thing you take in this video, do not sell yourself. Sell your solution. You're not solution for that ad. Your solution is only going to be the product. Ebook, home eval, that sort of stuff, right? It's not going to be you. And people will pay if they can have their pain alleviated. Your purpose is to provide that medicine for them. And if it's something that can consistently reduce that pain, people are going to pay for it. Great example is, bad example when we talk about YouTube ads, but YouTube Premium. If people are getting, constant advertisements, they're like 2 minutes long on their videos and that sort of stuff they want to watch, then they are going to have that pain alleviated by YouTube Premium, right? You do not want to sell yourself. Just show how the product is going to fix their pain. That's the main thing. And again, talking about YouTube Premium, a lot of people can say, well, YouTube Premium being a decent sized thing, a lot of people are on YouTube Premium. What's the solution for that? Well, you don't have to necessarily just target YouTube ads. Obviously, we specialize in that. Again, I can make a video detailing this, but YouTube Premium is not a problem. It's not a problem. Most prospects are overwhelmed by complexity, though. Back to the point. This makes the process feel manageable and stress-free. Make it, again, low commitment is a very vital thing, and this just rectifies that. So the offer needs to be simple, and companies have, again, just on a bigger note, companies have gone bust thinking up complex offers. You do not want to end up like these people where they go, I'll give you 5 million things on top of this ebook. Not only we get this ebook, you're going to get 5 million plus other things for it. It's like, you don't need to do that. You really, really don't. The best things in business are simple. Number 6, remove commitment and give control. Speaking in generalisms here again, but I will make it, people hate not having control. It's a big thing. It's not like there's that whole thing with like psychopaths and sociopaths, just they fear losing control. This isn't what it's about, but it's making sure that they have a decision. If it feels like you're doing all the work for them, or it feels like they have no part of the process whatsoever, people also don't like that, right? You need to give that control away. And this is great examples It takes less than 60 seconds to get your plan tailored for your solution. You pick the timeline, we'll show you what's possible based on your goals, right? It gives them that choice. You can walk away with a custom game plan even if we never work together. That's very, very strong. No commitment to working with an agent and your pain gets alleviated for free. Who's not taking that? Low commitment language reduces skepticism and increases opt-ins. And even if you get skeptics, they're going to want to check you out. And if it's easy to do, then curiosity does the rest. Again, make it dumb simple. Make it dumb simple so people who even hate your products will check it out because they realize, oh, it's only 2 seconds out of my time to check out. Curiosity plus potential to cure pain equals deals. Great formula. Great formula. For YouTube ads, that is a great formula. Curiosity, potential to cure pain, landing pages, all works well. So even if they are skeptical, if it's easy to do, they will do it for kicks. People just want to check stuff out, just out of the curiosity. And a final one, number 7, end with a clear, low friction CTA. We've been building up to this about commitment, but you want to make the call to action completely frictionless. Make it casual and specific. Bonus if it feels like a gift. If it feels like you're giving something away to them with no cost, no strings attached, that's when CTA drives up. So message plan and they'll send you a 3-step checklist we use to help buyers avoid losing $40,000 plus in today's market. Click the link, book a time, and walk away with clarity, even if you're months away from buying. Really good one. Shoot me a DM with your zip code, and I'll send you 3 properties that match your price and lifestyle goals. I wouldn't recommend this as much because that's more detailing to Instagram, but if you want your YouTube ads to detail you back to your Instagram for whatever reason, trying to boost your following, then by all means try that. A vague or heavy CTA kills momentum. A very simple, direct ask keeps the prospect moving. So a simple ask is something like, if you click the blue button below right now, in 20 seconds, you'll receive your free accurate evaluation. Feel free to steal that because that's really, really good. Do not make it difficult to sign up. It says, again, one thing you take away from this video, low commitment, low commitment, low commitment. Biggest thing you want to think about. If you're worried about quality, that's something they can figure out later down the line. It goes volume, quality, then volume of quality. Find out what you're getting from the volume first, and then everything else will be tailored after that. Because you can't qualify stuff that doesn't exist, right? If you're getting one lead, you can't qualify anything. Like, it doesn't work like that. So volume, quality, then volume, and then volume of quality. There you are. So next one is specific actions like DM zip outperform generic ask by giving the brain a clear next step. So DM zip is really novel. It's really nice. I've not really seen that being used that much, but there you are. There's a 25% chance you will see a picture of a puppy when you sign up as a free bonus. That's actually a really interesting one. I would love to see people actually try that out. This is something I thought of on the top of my head, but you could really easily give this a go. If you've got a really decent ad system, you figure out your targeting and that sort of stuff, try adding this onto your next script and see what happens, because that's actually a really, really good one. I actually really like that. So DMing is a good one, but it's still not as painless as clicking a button or a video. Because remember, they have to first go on your Instagram, then they have to type in your name, then they have to actually go into direct messages, then they have to put on capitals, and then type in zip, and then click enter. Really painless compared to just scroll down, click, oh, I'm on the opt-in page. Like, again, making that opt-in painless as possible. Name, number, all you need. Test the funnel yourself. Do you find it easy or painful? People do rarely forget to do this, but you really need to test your own stuff out. If you don't like it, what hope does everyone else have? That's something you need to think about. Again, go through, try your own ad system out. Do you get affected by it? Do you think the ad systems are good? Do you think the ad scripts are great? Then move on. Figure out if the opt-in works, figure out landing pages work and stuff like that. So that's really, really good there. But yeah, that is the 7 scripts of conduct. So really, really informative, and honestly probably one of the most important videos I'll ever put on this channel, because you need this. You absolutely need to make this work, because otherwise you are going to struggle. You're going to struggle getting any leads. Like, I've seen people put thousands to ad spend and only get a couple leads out, and that's because they didn't really have a clue how to target people. They didn't have a clue how to cause fear or urgency, how to identify hidden problems, how to call out common mistakes, introducing simple secret solutions, or how to better sell their products, relieving that pain, the actual pain points, relieving that, being that solution, being that medicine for that. making the commitment very, very simple and ending it with a low friction CTA. People often forget to do, like, follow these 7 principles. What I always say in my videos as well, feel free to treat my videos like a checklist. Are you doing everything that's in the video? If you are, then it's just a case that you are probably going to get leads. You're probably going to get deals. I'd say that's almost guaranteed if you follow everything to a T here, because this is all proven. This is something built up from a state of ourselves over time. And there's a reason we test so extensively, like 20 plus scripts per offer, to actually see what works, because every market is drastically different from the last. But yeah, that's everything. Feel free to drop me an Instagram DM or something like that, or drop a comment on this video. And yeah, I'll be able to help you out if you have any questions, anything related to this funnel, in this Mario board, anything you want me to figure out, then yeah, I'm really, really active on Instagram, so feel free to drop me on there. But I am active on this YouTube account every now and then when I do upload. So every Tuesday, Saturday, I'll be replying to comments. But if you want to get me ASAP, then on Instagram, it's really, really simple. Down in the description, you'll get the Instagram, get the link. It takes 10 seconds to actually, do a DM with me, do a message, and just DM me a message. So it's all good. But yeah, that's everything. So see you later. Have a good day, and yeah, see you soon.